Welcome to video 84 in series 3, and in this video the enemy will be able to take damage from items you throw at them. Okay, so I'm going to set up a trigger on top of the golem on it that acts as a collision field, and then I'll write a script and attach it to it. So I'll just create a 3D object, a cube, get rid of the filter, get rid of the mesh renderer, add a rigid body, and turn on is kinematic, remove use gravity, turn on is trigger, change the layer to transparent, not transparent, ignore raycast. This is so that guns and stuff don't hit this this collider and miss the hitbox then, because it's going to be a bit bigger than the hitbox, because if you throw stuff it'll bounce off the hitbox, so you want it to first touch the collision field first. Okay, so I need to also move that. I'll also rename it collision field, and I'll move it to say y 1.5, x 1.5, y 2.8, yeah, that's about the right length, and a z of 1.2 just to make it stick out. So now it will totally encompass the hitbox, so stuff thrown at the golem will actually hit the collision field and not just bounce off the hitbox. Okay, so now I need to write the script. So enemy collision field. Alright, I'll open that up. Okay, I'll start with the variables. Private enemy master. Private rigid body striking me. Private int damage to apply. Public float mass requirement is equal to 50. Public float speed requirement is equal to 5. Private float damage factor is equal to 0.1. I won't need a start and update. I will have a void on trigger enter, and as you know, be careful with how you write that, collider other. And also void disable this, and this time I will say game object dot set active false, and that will just turn off the collision field and no more of this stuff happening at all. So you could also destroy it, but disabling is another way to do it. Alright, and let's have a look. So set initial references, I probably should fill those in, and that's pretty simple. Enemy master is equal to transform.root.getComponent, and that component is the enemy master. Okay, then for the subscription, enemy master.event enemy die plus equal disable this. Okay, and then for the actual trigger enter, it's pretty simple. If other dot get component rigid body not equal to null. So the thrown object, if its rigid body is not equal to null, then capture it. So rigid body striking is equal to other dot get component rigid body. If rigid body striking me dot mass is greater than or equal to mass requirement, so it needs to be heavy enough to do damage to the player, and rigid body striking me dot velocity square magnitude. Okay, and this, why am I using square magnitude and not just the magnitude? So there's here magnitude as well, because the square magnitude operation is a lot faster. It's just multiplying two values together, so like 5 times 5 for example, rather than trying to get the square root of something. So since this is maybe perhaps a more frequent check, I'll just do that, because you could be throwing lots of stuff and not all of it is applicable to applying damage. So if the rigid body striking me dot velocity dot square magnitude is greater than the speed requirement times speed requirement, then damage to apply, no, not that, to apply is equal to int, and in brackets I will say damage factor times rigid body striking me dot mass times, now I'll use it, rigid body striking me dot velocity dot magnitude. Now I'll use that. And enemy master dot call event enemy deduct health, and that is the damage to apply. Alright, so that is it actually. So pretty simple script. Let's go ahead and use it. So going to the collision field, grab it, drop it on. It's looking good. Let's hit play. Oh, and let me just check something else. Are my cubes heavy enough? My items? That's something. Yep, the mass is 100, so that should be just fine for causing damage. There we go, he's destroyed. So how about I make that a bit lighter? Because it caused a lot of damage. Maybe set it to 50. Okay. It's detected the player. Ooh, now he's angry. How much health has he got left? So the golem's health. Ooh, he's only got 3 health left, so one more throw and he's finished. Bam! So as you can see, it is really, really neat actually. That's pretty much how I could describe it. Let's make a few more. While I'm at it, just click on the original, hit apply. Okay, hit play. Right. Now there's a small platoon of them, and they're all chasing after the player. What's the player gonna do? Well, now you can throw blocks at them. Not very graceful, but gets the job done. Right. Yep. So that is pretty fun actually. That is actually a really nice behavior. And I think you'll appreciate that that is actually really, really neat what you can do, because you can set up any item in your game as something, well, it automatically applies, because if it's heavy enough and it has a rigid body that isn't set to is kinematic, well, it is going to cause damage to the enemy. So you can have anything in your game. You could have tables, chairs, books, whatever. Well, hopefully your books don't weigh 50 kilograms, but any old item in your game, you can turn it into something you can pick up, put in your inventory, and you can just throw it at your enemies, zombies, whatever they may be. And so, well, I think that's it really for this video. That what you've now implemented is a really, really powerful system. It was very simple, as you could see as well. I think in the next video I'll make a spawner to just make it easy to spawn lots of the golems in one go. Alright, anyway, thank you for watching, and see you then.